Right here in West Bloomfield, one of the big talking points has remained to be the State of the Oakland County address that took place just a couple days ago right here in West Bloomfield, where Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter shared his vision for the Oakland County community, as well as cities close by, like right here in West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and beyond. And joining us right now to talk a little bit more and to share some reflections on his recent speech, we have Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter joining us right now on The Splash. Dave, very happy to have you with us today.
Hey, always great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Always love talking to you. We spoke a little bit at the event just a couple days ago, and now we want to get into a little bit more talk about how this is going to be affecting cities like West Bloomfield. And reflecting on the progress that you've made since your last State of the County address, what achievements since then are you the most proud of, and what lessons have you learned that are going to inform, that are going to help shape some of these new initiatives?
Oh gosh, that's a great question, because I'm proud of a lot of the work that we're doing. I talked the other night, like you said, at the Berman Center in West Bloomfield about the way that we're leaning in to help our small businesses. I'm really proud of the fact that we have doubled down on our support for our entrepreneurs, our small businesses. You know, Oakland County is a wealthy county, and sometimes we're known for things like being the headquarters of, Stellantis and General Motors Orion, but it's our small businesses that really drive the economy here. It's over 90% of our businesses are small. And so we've done a lot through our Oakland Thrive program to lift up and support the needs of our small businesses, whether it's for marketing or for capital or website design. Whatever a small business needs, we're trying to be there to lift them up and to support them. And I'm really proud of that.
You should be. We've had Oakland Thrive on our show very, very recently. They talked about all the work that they have done to help West Bloomfield businesses. They're going to be having an event in just a couple weeks to honor some of those businesses. How have you seen things in West Bloomfield specifically improve so much when it comes to small businesses?
Oh my gosh, this has been a successful area anyway, right? But one of the things I wanted to talk about in the speech, and the speech was a little different than some of my other ones, where I just sort of tick off accomplishments, because what I said was, West Bloomfield Township, Birmingham, the areas that you cover, they're successful, but we need to be mindful of the environment that we're in today, the polarized environment that we're in today, the changes that we're seeing as a country, and I think we need to lean in. One of the things I talked about in this speech was to stretch, to do more in areas that help lift everybody up, because it's not enough that just some people are doing well. It's important that we all do well and that we're in this together. And so I'm really proud to have given this speech in West Bloomfield. I'm really proud of the work that's been done there. West Bloomfield Supervisor Jonathan Wershay, my former neighbor, actually was the MC of our event. I'm so proud of the work that's done here. But we have an obligation as a people and as a county to make sure that everybody gets lifted up and that we get past this polarization, the chaos that we sometimes feel in this country and even in our own county and community, and put what I said, progress over politics, progress over chaos. And that was really the theme of this speech.
That's a great message for everyone to keep into mind. Progress over politics. And one of the big things you've talked about is the expansion of public transit into more areas of Oakland County. Are there plans to enhance transit options in and around West Bloomfield to improve accessibility for residents and businesses?
There are. And, I talked about that a little bit as well. So the first thing we have to do is we need more buses and more riders, right? We need, shorter hours, shorter time to get to public transit, make it easier. And so just in the last 2 years, we've hired more than 400 new drivers to make the transit more accessible for folks, right? And then the important thing is to make it so that you can go to more places. So when you leave the West Bloomfield area, you can get to Rochester Hills or Novi if that's where your job is or if that's where you need to go. So we've increased, for instance, Novi, the ridership to Novi is up 76% since the millage. And that's because there's a shorter wait time, there's more buses, there's more drivers, it's inexpensive, $2 a ride anywhere you want to go in Oakland County. So we're continuing to build out that network of places that you can go and the wait time that it takes to get there.
That's amazing. So many great resources for everyone here in West Bloomfield and beyond. And public safety, I know, is a very top priority for a lot of West Bloomfield residents. How does the county plan to collaborate with things like local law enforcement and emergency services to continue to ensure the safety of the community?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the reasons people live in West Bloomfield and Oakland County is because it's a safe place to live and to raise your family. One of the ways that the county has helped support our sheriff's department is through mental health services. You know, a lot of the calls that our police officers go on are related to substance abuse and mental health. And you know what? It's just not fair. They're not trained in that. So we now have a co-responder program so that if an officer is out there dealing with someone and he or she realizes that this is really a mental health or a substance abuse issue, they can call our team of co-responders who can help diffuse that situation, de-escalate it, and get those people into the treatment or hospital instead of the jails. And it takes the burden off of our first responders, and it keeps more of those types of folks who are having those issues out of our jails. So that's one way that the county has really tried to support our law enforcement over the last couple of years.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we have Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter joining us right now to talk about his recent State of the County address and how a lot of these changes and proposed changes are going to be affecting cities like Greater West Bloomfield. And West Bloomfield has a very diverse population. And how does your administration plan to ensure that county programs like Oakland 80 and mental health services effectively reach and support this diverse community?
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because ever since I've been executive, I've tried to lift up the fact that this is a very diverse county. We have people from all over the world here. And the fact of the matter is the population in Oakland County would not have grown over the last 10 years if it weren't for our immigrant population. We need them, they fuel our growth, and they make our communities better. So I talked about the need to make sure that everyone in our county feels welcome, they feel safe, they feel valued, and that we respect them. And so what we're trying to do at the county is to make sure that all of the programs that we offer, all of the services that we provide are accessible to everyone. And that means not just putting it on the website and just assuming that everybody can find it. We're working in the communities and in diverse communities to make sure that we're reaching them where they're at in a way that's accessible to them so that they understand that these programs and services exist. We value them and we want them to take advantage of it.
That's amazing. And a lot of people all around the West Bloomfield community are very excited about some of these programs. And I want to go into the West Bloomfield School District for a minute, because like many others, it faces challenges related to enrollment and funding. How can the county support local schools in preparing students for the workforce and higher education opportunities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, because it's important, and sometimes people say, well, county government isn't a school district, it isn't schools. But our schools are so important to a successful community and a successful family life, right? And so we can't ignore it. One of the things that we're launching, that we just launched this last year, is we're putting education navigators, county-funded education navigators in our high schools so that we can expose our young people to the jobs, the apprenticeships, and the education opportunities that are available to them. Hey, it's hard to be a student these days. There's a lot going on. And so what we're trying to do through our Oakland 80 initiative, which is to get more of our young people and adults with some kind of post-high school education or training is we're now embedding them right in our high schools. We're talking to our kids right where they are and saying, look, these are the high in demand jobs. What are your passions? What are you passionate about? Where are your talents and skills? Let's see if we can align those so that we can help you get the career that you want and also help our businesses get the employees that they want. And so we're really doubling down on trying to expose our kids to the jobs that are out there.
That's great that you have all these resources, and you're absolutely right. There are a lot of differences now for high school students than there were back when I was in high school, which wasn't too long ago, but a lot of great things for people to keep an eye on. And
a lot longer than when I was there, I'll just say. So the time, I guess the bottom line, and I love that you said that, is times have changed, things are different, and government needs to be flexible, and it needs to change with the times. And so it used to be that, you know, you could just put out a program and people would find it, or you would hope. But we know now that the struggles for young people and for everybody, frankly, are different. And I think it's one of the things I tried to highlight in this speech is that government needs to stretch and adapt to meet the times that we're in. And I think that's what we're trying to do in Oakland County. I hope we're doing it well.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job with everything you're doing. I got one more question for you, Dave, before we let you go. What specific benefits from the county's economic development strategies do you see impacting West Bloomfield within the next few years?
Yeah, so we are constantly trying to bring the right mix of companies and jobs to Oakland County, so that our residents have an ability to have a good life, to have a good job, to work for a good company. And so, you know, I've gone on a couple of different trade missions around the world. I've been to Dubai and South Korea, luring those companies back to bring those good paying jobs to Oakland County. But I want to make this point. These jobs aren't just for the benefit of the companies. I feel passionately that we're not just trying to bring jobs here, but good jobs. Jobs that you can feel excited about, you can be passionate about, and that pay a good wage, so that you can have a good life and you can raise your family on a good salary. And so that's what we're laser focused on, to bring the people of West Bloomfield and people across the county good paying jobs that they can raise a family on and have a decent life here in Oakland County.
Well, you are doing all the right things. You got a lot of plans in place. Can't wait to see how everything turns out. Executive Coulter, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.